Greg Clark's announcement came as a surprise. In his departure letter, he said he thought the time was now right to hand the baton to someone else, but gave no specific reason for his decision. His letter stated, to stand at the election involves a 5-year commitment. That statement was also true, though, 2 years ago, when I interviewed Greg Clark and asked this question. You've been the MP for Tunbridge Wells now for quite a few years. Are you planning to stand again at the next election?
Absolutely. I always feel it's a great honour to represent the people of Tunbridge Wells. I'm very lucky to represent a real place. I mean, when I get off the train and the station announcer says, this is Tunbridge Wells, I feel a sense of pride and great satisfaction that this is a place that is a real community. And to be the Member of Parliament for such a place, it's also the case that Tunbridge Wells and the surrounding area are not universally affluent, which a lot of people outside think there are. So there are challenges to take up, and I love doing it.
Greg Clark speaking 2 years ago. The local Conservative Party is now desperately trying to find a suitable alternative candidate before the nomination cut-off date of Friday the 7th of June. The two main parties likely to be opposing the Conservatives in Tunbridge Wells are Labour and the Liberal Democrats. The Liberal Democrats were given a boost by the recent local council elections, which saw the party take overall control of the borough. I got reaction to Greg Clark's decision first from Mike Martin, who's the Liberal Democrat candidate to become the MP for Tunbridge Wells.
I think the decision of Greg Clark to step down reflects what we're seeing across the country. The people who are most surprised by the election being called seem to be the Tory MPs, and it's notable, I think, that a number, Michael Gove, John Redwood, now Greg Clark, are standing down in seats where the Liberal Democrats are the challengers to the Conservatives. And now, it was looking neck and neck whilst Greg Clark was still standing, and now he's stepped down. There's still lots of work to do, but it really makes the seat a Lib Dem Conservative contest.
Mike Martin of the Liberal Democrats. I then heard from Labour's parliamentary candidate Hugo Pound.
The rumours have been flying around for quite a while now that Greg Clark might stand down, and in many ways I understand his decision. He clearly is a much more moderate One Nation Tory than many of the others who have been in government and would be in government if they were to win the next election. So I wish him well, and I have regard for some of the things that he's done locally. I've worked with him on a number of matters which are not in the public domain, and he's been incredibly helpful. I think, however, he does not represent the true values of the constituency now. I suppose my one concern is about who the candidate will be for the Conservatives going forward. We do need somebody who is local, understands the issues, has already got relationships with people which will allow things to be addressed on behalf of residents and businesses here in Tunbridge Wells. So let's not have somebody flown in. What I would much rather see is another local candidate like myself who's lived here, in my case for 30 years, worked here, running a business, brought my children up here. I think that is a better representation for Tunbridge Wells and what is needed now.
Meanwhile, in Tunbridge, the sitting Conservative MP, Tom Tugendhat, is set to fight on. He'll be challenged by Anna Cope from the Greens, as well as Labour, the Liberal Democrats and Reform UK. Our reporter Julia Neal heard from people around Tunbridge Castle this weekend.
Well, it's a bit of a shock that he decided to go in July, and I'm not sure it's the right decision that he should have made. It was a bit rubbish how he came out and got rained on.
Excited.
Relieved. Way overdue.
Have you decided who you're voting for yet?
No, I haven't. I'm so undecided. I know I've got to vote because if you vote, you've got a say. If you don't vote, people who don't vote have got no say in what happened.
I think it's too early. I would have preferred it later in the year.
It should have been earlier, as far as I'm concerned.
I think 4th of July is fine. At least it's going to have nice weather.